Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we dive into the world of the Lost City. A lost city is an urban settlement that fell into terminal decline and became extensively or completely uninhabited, with the consequence that the site's former significance was no longer known to the wider world. The locations of many lost cities have been forgotten, but some have been rediscovered and studied extensively by scientists. Recently abandoned cities or cities whose location was never in question might be referred to as ruins or ghost towns. Smaller settlements may be referred to as abandoned villages. The search for such lost cities by European explorers and adventurers in Africa, the Americas, and Southeast Asia from the 15th century onward eventually led to the development of archaeology. Lost cities generally fall into two broad categories: those where all knowledge of the city's existence was forgotten before it was rediscovered, and those whose memory was preserved in myth, legend, or historical records but whose location was lost or at least no longer widely recognized. How cities are lost. Cities may become lost for a variety of reasons, including natural disasters, economic or social upheaval, or war. The Incan capital city of Vilcabamba was destroyed and depopulated during the Spanish conquest of Peru in 1572. The Spanish did not rebuild the city, and the location went unrecorded and was forgotten until it was rediscovered through a detailed examination of period letters and documents. Troy was a city located in northwest Anatolia in what is now Turkey. It is best known for being the focus of the Trojan War described in the Greek epic cycle and especially in the Iliad, one of the two epic poems attributed to Homer. Repeatedly destroyed and rebuilt, the city slowly declined and was abandoned in the Byzantine era. Buried by time, the city was consigned to the realm of legend until the location was first excavated in the 1860s. Other settlements are lost with few or no clues to their abandonment. For example, Malden Island, in the Central Pacific, was deserted when first visited by Europeans in 1825, but the remains of temples and other structures on the island indicate that a population of Polynesians had lived there for perhaps several generations in the past. Typically, this lack of information is due to a lack of surviving written or oral histories and a lack of archaeological data, as in the case of the remote and fairly unknown Malden Island. Rediscover. With the development of archaeology and the application of modern techniques, many previously lost cities have been rediscovered. Machu Picchu is a pre-Columbian Inca site situated on a mountain ridge above the Urubamba Valley in Peru. Often referred to as the lost city of the Incas, it is perhaps the most familiar icon of the Inca world. Machu Picchu was built around 1450, at the height of the Inca Empire. It was abandoned just over 100 years later, in 1572, as a belated result of the Spanish conquest. It is possible that most of its inhabitants died from smallpox introduced by travelers before the Spanish conquistadors arrived in the area. In 1911, Melchor Arteaga led the explorer Hiram Bingham to Machu Picchu, which had been largely forgotten by everybody except the small number of people living in the immediate valley. Nevertheless, Peruvian explorer and farmer Agustin Lizarraga predated this discovery by 9 years, having found the Inca site on July 14, 1902. He left a charcoal inscription bearing the words, A. Lizarraga 1902. Helike was an ancient Greek city that sank at night in the winter of 373 BCE. The city was located in Achaea, northern Peloponnesos, 2 kilometers, 12 stadia, from the Corinthian Gulf. The city was thought to be legend until 2001, when it was rediscovered in the Helike Delta. In 1988, the Greek archaeologist Dora Katsonopoulou launched the Helike project to locate the site of the lost city. In 1994, in collaboration with the University of Patras, a magnetometer survey was carried out in the midplain of the delta, which revealed the outlines of a buried building. In 1995, this target was excavated, now known as the Clonis site, and a large Roman building with standing walls was brought to light. Egypt under Egypt. Amarna is a lost city. Amarna is an extensive ancient Egyptian archaeological site containing the ruins of Akhetaten, the capital city during the late 18th dynasty. The city was established in 1346 BC, built at the direction of the pharaoh Akhenaten, and abandoned shortly after his death in 1332 BC. The site is on the east bank of the Nile River, in what today is the Egyptian province of Minya. It is about 58 kilometers, 36 miles, south of the city of Al-Minya, 312 kilometers, 194 miles, south of the Egyptian capital, Cairo, and 402 kilometers, 250 miles, north of Luxor, site of the previous capital, Thebes, too. The city of Deir Mawaz lies directly to its west. On the east side of Amarna there are several modern villages, the chief of which are El Til in the north and El Hag Kandil in the south. Activity in the region flourished from the Amarna period until the later Roman era. Maghreb. Under Maghreb, Carthage is a lost city. Also Carthage was an ancient city in northern Africa, on the eastern side of the Lake of Tunis in what is now Tunisia. Carthage was one of the most important trading hubs of the ancient Mediterranean and one of the most affluent cities of the classical world. It became the capital city of the civilization of ancient Carthage and later Roman Carthage. The city developed from a Phoenician colony into the capital of a Punic Empire which dominated large parts of the southwest Mediterranean during the first millennium BC. 1. The legendary Queen Elissa or Dido, originally from Tyre, is regarded as the founder of the city. 2. Though her historicity has been questioned. In the myth, Dido asked for land from a local tribe, which told her that she could get as much land as an ox hide could cover. She cut the ox hide into strips and laid out the perimeter of the new city. 3. As Carthage prospered at home, the polity sent colonists abroad as well as magistrates to rule the colonies. 4. The ancient city was destroyed in the nearly 3-year siege of Carthage by the Roman Republic during the Third Punic War in 146 BC. It was redeveloped a century later as Roman Carthage, which became the major city of the Roman Empire in the province of Africa. The question of Carthaginian decline and demise has remained a subject of literary, political, artistic, and philosophical debates in both ancient and modern histories. 4. 5. Late antique and medieval Carthage continued to play an important cultural and economic role in the Byzantine period. The city was sacked and destroyed by Umayyad forces after the Battle of Carthage in 698 to prevent it from being reconquered by the Byzantine Empire. 6. It remained occupied during the Muslim period, 7, and was used as a fort by the Muslims until the Hafsidi period when it was taken by the Crusaders with its inhabitants massacred during the 8th Crusade. The Hafsids decided to destroy its defenses so it could not be used as a base by a hostile power again. 8. It also continued to function as an episcopal see. The regional power shifted to Kirwan and the Medina of Tunis in the medieval period, until the early 20th century, when it began to develop into a coastal suburb of Tunis, incorporated as Carthage municipality in 1919. The archaeological site was first surveyed in 1830, by Danish consul Christian Tuxen Falby. Excavations were performed in the second half of the 19th century by Charles Ernest Boulay and by Alfred Louis Delatte. The Carthage National Museum was founded in 1875 by Cardinal Charles Lavigerie. Excavations performed by French archaeologists in the 1920s first attracted attention because of the evidence they produced for child sacrifice. There has been considerable disagreement among scholars concerning whether child sacrifice was practiced by ancient Carthage. 9. 10. The open-air Carthage Paleo-Christian Museum has exhibits excavated under the auspices of UNESCO from 1975 to 1984. The site of the ruins is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel now for more about horror.